Okay, y'all. I'm gonna try to wing it here. I want to talk to you today about the federal statute of limitations on a habeas corpus for state and federal inmates. Um, it's called the it's called the Antiterrorism Effective Death Penalty Act, or the AEDPA. The problem with this act is that it's completely unconstitutional. There's no provision in the Constitution, state or federal, in any state, that puts a 1 year statute of limitations on the filing of a habeas corpus. And because of that, it's illegal. But the U.S. Supreme Court has held it to be constitutional. Uh, why that is, I don't understand myself. When when it's clearly unconstitutional. So let's get a basic breakdown of what this is. Under federal law, a state inmate or any person convicted of a crime in jail or whatever may take and petition the court via habeas corpus for their living conditions, for unconstitutional convictions, for just about anything that has to do with their conviction. And we'll say that you are arrested for, I don't know, getting into a fight, right? Your lawyer, when you come in, your nose is broken, both your eyes are blackened, your jaw's been broke, and three of your ribs are broke, right? And there's a video of you not fighting back, but yet you're the one facing, manslaughter. When you tell your lawyer, he says, no, 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 that's a lie, and he never says anything to the court. Well, in that situation, you could file a habeas corpus before the conviction to have that issue heard. There's other conditions that you can do or other procedures you can follow, such as a Marsden motion, whatnot. But we've covered this before. So all in all, what you have to remember is that when you move for a habeas corpus in the third appellate district court, they don't care. They're just going to stamp it and they're going to call it good. When you go to the California Supreme Court or any Supreme Court, if your formatting is not right, in other words, if your name is not in the right place, if it doesn't look like a legal document, if it doesn't sound like a legal document, then your document goes in a pile of we don't care. And you don't get the respect of the court. You don't get none of that. And usually they just stamp your document failed or denied, and they just send it back to you. And often in California, they don't even give you a reason why they deny it. It's called a postcard denial, and it just says your habeas has been denied. Well, what this does is this allows unconstitutional actions to be committed. So here's a really good point. In my case, there is actual evidence of police planting evidence. And officers are arguing amongst themselves as to what evidence was planted and how it was planted. There was a blanket in my alleged crime scene that allegedly had my DNA on it. Well, here's the thing: two other officers, swear up and down that blanket and other evidence was not in the crime scene. It was nowhere even near the crime scene. But I have, and on top of that, I have laboratory testing that shows no man was involved in any crime against anybody. But yet, that didn't matter. So, by the time I got to federal court, it was too late. They just didn't care. So, the AEDPA allows unconstitutional behavior to continue. And the courts have essentially allowed for police to plant evidence. In my case and in other cases. They signed off. It's just okay now. No problems. You want you think your rights matter? They don't. But here's whose problem that is. Yours. Everybody's. If you're a citizen of the United States, it is your problem. Because today, or excuse me, before it was me. Today it could be you. Tomorrow, your mama, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your niece, your cousin, your nephew. It could be them. We have gotten to a point now where we are no longer a nation of laws. We are a nation of the rich and we are a nation of the poor. If you have money, hey, it's good. You're all right. You can walk away from anything. If you don't have money and you don't know how to enforce your rights, guess what? You're going to prison. So, I would like to see the AEDPA overturned. Not only for me, but for others. Because in actuality, it's too late for me. All of my videos are not for me. It's already too late. Sure, I have evidence, sure. But the courts don't care. And they're tyrannical. They really are. When you walk into a courtroom, that judge is a king. He seriously is. He's a king. He can do what he wants, when he wants, however he wants. So under the federal AEDPA Act, unless you come with extraordinary evidence, and what that means is basically God Himself has to come down and say you didn't do it, and even then you're still not getting off. You're just not. Unless you can pay for a lawyer. Unfortunately, I'm not a billionaire, so I had to do most of my legal work myself. But so the AEDPA, I kind of got off topic. So the AEDPA, let's get back to that. The AEDPA takes it and makes it to where after a year, no matter your evidence, you have to go through a screening process. And the screening process is so strict that, no, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter your evidence. It's called a sculp and Delo evaluation. And it's unreal. I mean, the bar is so high that, look, I knew a guy, right? He's had DNA evidence that said he did not do anything at all. And he's still doing life. He had a video that showed he was halfway across the state. And he's doing life. Just doesn't matter. So, know your rights. And remember, never take a plea deal. Ever. Because if you do, you're through. It's just that simple. Hey, that simple. Yeah, they're going to threaten you with more time. But don't do it. Because once you do, you give up your AEDPA. You give up your right to a bunch of stuff. So don't do it. Long story short, the AEDPA is illegal. Call your representative. Call your friends. Call whatever. This law needs to be overturned. There are millions of people who are incarcerated, who are innocent, or at least somewhat innocent. And what I mean by that is, they went and stole a candy bar and got life. or they, punched someone in the face and ended up on death row. And the courts don't look at it. They don't see it. They don't care about it. It's because they're not forced to. So I know this video is a little out there, but hey. Well, check out my other videos. Subscribe. I know most aren't probably watching this, but hey. So I wanted to add this little edit. Or at least this little tidbit. Remember, when it comes to the AEDPA, and just state courts in general, when you're going through the process, it's a learning process. It's a learning curve. Study now. Do your friends and family a favor. study now. You know, um, learn now. Um, so when your niece, when your nephew, when your son or your daughter or your husband, your wife go to prison, get locked up, and their lawyer does nothing for them, know what to do. This way here, you're not having to pay $60,000 to $90,000 for a habeas corpus to be done on your behalf. You can do it yourself. Now, is it great? No, no, it's not. But at least you can try it. All right. Well, just thought I'd throw that in there.